It is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to the first ever State of the County event. Today, we gather here to celebrate the remarkable progress and achievements of our beloved county. I would like to begin by expressing a heartfelt appreciation to our event sponsors, Tracy Hills, Prologis, Doherty Properties, Sutter Health, Sutter Tracy Community Hospital, San Joaquin County WorkNet, POC Bank, Surland, Downtown Tracy City Center Association, San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission. Your unwavering support and commitment to our community have made this event possible. We are truly grateful of your generosity and dedication to the betterment of San Joaquin County. Once again, thank you. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each and every one of you. Let us use this day as a platform for collaboration, inspiration, and the forging of new connections that will shape the destiny of San Joaquin County. And thank you. As a patriotic people, I now invite the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Honor Guard to present our California and United States flag, followed by Chief Deputy Clerk of the Board, Nicole Lee, who will be singing our national anthem. Now, would you please rise for our presentation of colors?
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Nicole. That was beautiful. And thank you, Lieutenant Salomon and Dunsing, and your team, Sergeant Smith, Deputy Ramos, Deputy Davis, Deputy Lopez, and Deputy Mayoya. We have 15 members of the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Honor Guard in attendance today. God bless you all. And with that being said, I would like to call Deacon Peter Reiser to the stage from San Bernard's Catholic Church, and please lead us in prayer.
Let's take a moment to ask God to be in our presence as we open this meeting. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of unity during this meeting. We thank you for bringing together government officials, law enforcement, community leaders, business representatives, and residents to discuss the progress that has been completed to better the common good of our county. We thank you for the building of relationships, friendships with those you have positioned to work together for the success of this Board of Supervisors. Continue to watch over, guide those who are responsible for the residents of our county. Thank you for the ideas that will be spoken and for those who willingly contribute their thoughts and ideas for the continual success of our county. Inspire them to enact policies that are for the common good of all the residents of San Joaquin County. Send down your blessings on these your servants who so generously devote themselves to helping others. When they are called on times of need, let them faithfully serve you and their neighbor. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
And now for our first speaker. Thank you. Christopher Callahan, President of the University of Pacific. He became the 26th President of the University of Pacific on July 1st, 2020. He joined UOP after more than 25 years in higher education and leadership, most recently as a founding dean of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State, CEO of the university-owned Arizona PBS station, and Vice Provost of ASU Downtown Phoenix campus. At UOP, Callahan is focused on building on the strengths of California's first university, the personalized education of a small college combined with the choices of a major university. Across all three of its Northern California campuses, Sacramento, San Francisco, and Stockton. One of President Callahan's first announcements was the launch of a series of initiatives to set UOP on the path of becoming a national model for diversity, equity, and inclusion in higher education, including plans for the university's first DEI executive. Now, join me in welcoming President Callahan to the stage.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you for that very, very kind introduction. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. Thanks to Chairman Rickman for the lovely invitation. And before I start, I just wanted to thank the chair, all of the supervisors. The partnership between the Board of Supervisors and University of the Pacific has been extraordinary, particularly over the last few years. And I will tell you, you're going to see a lot of good news up here in terms of what we're able to do to help spur our local economies. Much of that is derivative of the support that we receive from the county in the early days of the pandemic, and with projects like a new student center for our student veterans on campus. So we're just very, very, very appreciative. Quickly, just for those of you who may not be familiar with Pacific, indeed, we are California's first and oldest school. Started less than a year after statehood. We're going to be celebrating our centennial next year in Stockton. We hope you will come out and join us for those many, many activities. We have 3 campuses across Northern California. And we are estimating, we will not have the official numbers until 2 o'clock on Friday, but it looks like we will have approximately 6,750 students across all 3 campuses. That's significant because that would be the most number of enrolled students at Pacific in the 172-year history of the school. Thank you. And that's particularly significant because, again, to be an economic driver, we need those students. And it's at a time where in higher education, many other universities are actually losing enrollment. So we're very excited about that. You'll see some of our national accolades. The one I will point out is that last bullet point, 2%. This is a Georgetown study of more than 4,000 universities and colleges in the United States. Pacific alumni have the highest 2% of career earnings compared to all other universities. And that is so important today because a college education is expensive. And one of the things that we talk to about prospective students and families is it worth that investment? What is the return on the investment? And you can see the return is actually quite extraordinary. Pacific is a major economic driver of our region. You'll see more than $500 million across all three campuses, but particularly in our largest campus, which is in Stockton, and what it does for San Joaquin County, more than $300 million economic driver. As you'll see, 2,400 plus jobs, including 900 off campus. And that will continue to grow. That next number you see, traditionally, our sponsored research has been actually quite low. It's been about $10 million traditionally. Last year, it was up past 36 million. We expect that to continue to grow, and research, sponsored research, federal research, is also a major economic driver for our communities. And there is a partnership, I will say is driven by my beautiful wife, Jean Callahan, connecting the Miracle Mile, which is right down the street from our campus, to our students, to bring students there. That is growing, that is going to be robust and continue to grow in that relationship. These are some of the things that we do in the community. I'm not going to go through all of them, but that first one is particularly important. Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy does a lot of things in the community, including helping our residents with a Medicare Part D, super complicated. Those students and their faculty have saved county residents more than $10 million through these clinics, which we're very proud of. We do mobile clinics, working with the city, excuse me, diabetes screenings and the like. Our community education programs, our community involvement program. One of the things we're most proud of, this has been in existence for more than 50 years, and this gives us the ability to take first-generation San Joaquin County residents from lower economic means and bring them to Pacific on full scholarships. And we now, since President Burns started this in 1969, we have more than 2,000 young people, and now not so young people, who have gotten their degrees over that period of time, completely changed the trajectory of their lives and their communities. We're very proud of that. Pacific Summer High School Institute, we had our second year. This is a program where high school students, mostly from the county, 1,600 last summer alone, are on campus living and learning like college students for 2 weeks. We hope they learn something in their classes, but what's more important, they learn how to be college students and they leave with the confidence that they can be college students. And that's our biggest barrier for our first generation students, the confidence that they can do it. Our College Corps program, we're one of actually only 2 major universities in the state that have a large state-funded College Corps program. This gives us the ability to take 100 students each year and put them out and assign them in the community to local nonprofits where they're doing more than 40,000 hours of community service. Pacific Athletics and Conservatory of Music, for those of you, hopefully many of you are familiar already. The only thing I will say about that is join us. The Conservatory of Music, multiple concerts every week, world-class musicians, fantastically talented students. And then for Tiger Athletics, 17 Division I sports, there is something going on campus all the time. You are always invited. We hope to see you there. This is particularly how we serve the underserved students, and this is very unusual for a private university. This is very unusual. New York Times came out with a study just a couple of weeks ago and found that we were 23rd in the entire country among selective universities for our percentage of Pell Grant students. Pell Grant is eligible for students from low economic means. We were 3rd in California. We were ahead of all of the UCs, of all the state schools. We actually have more Pell Grant students. That's very unusual, and we take pride in that, and that's very intentional, because we think these are the students who are our future, and to be able to get them a college education transforms not just their lives and their family lives, but their community lives. That next bullet point, back to that Georgetown study, that we're first in the country in career income for among universities that have high degree of Pell eligible students. Not top 1%, number 1 in the country for those students and their career earnings. Dramatic differences in their lives. And then the affordability question, right? Because college is expensive, but we're very proud of the fact that U.S. News & World Report rankings just came out yesterday. We're 44th among the thousands of universities and colleges in the country in terms of value, and number 4 in California. That's very unusual for a private school to be in that situation. Just give you a little bit of sense of what's next coming up. We've been working hard to become a Hispanic serving institution, which will give us the ability to serve more of our Latinx students, as well as being eligible for more federal grants to come in to the community. We have to get to a certain threshold, which we did last year, 25%, reached it again this year. We should have that status later in the year. New online degree programs. Pacific is always going to be about on-the-ground learning, but for adult learners, for certain professional master's programs, we want to start all online programs. We just a few weeks ago started an MBA, which has been fantastically successful already. Other elements, pickleball. I know it sounds silly. It's really big, as you know. We're building with a company in San Diego what is going to be a unique to any college campus in America, a pickleball and padel complex that's going to be available to our students and to all of our community members. And it's not going to be ready until next month, and we already have people calling to get in. Sports Medicine Center for our 300 plus student athletes and for our students studying athletic training. It is the only accredited program in Northern California. And then lastly is this Pacific Inn, which will give you a little bit of a sense of how we think about economic development at Pacific. So this is an abandoned sorority house, been empty for a number of years, right next door to the president's residence where Gene and I live. We're going to turn that into boutique lodging to bring in students and parents and prospective students to increase enrollment and to invite visitors who are here coming from outside, coming to San Joaquin County and a beautiful place on our beautiful campus to stay. So it just gives you a little bit of a sense of that. Please come and visit us. I should have written my email address down, but I did not. ccallahan@pacific.edu. If there's anything I can do, please come and reach out. Please come to see a concert with us. Again, what have you. We appreciate all of your support. And again, to Chairman Rickman and to all the supervisors, thank you for everything that you've done for Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you, President Callahan. We are so glad you can join us today and deliver such a meaningful speech. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Robert Rickman, Chairman of the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors, who will deliver the 2023 State of the County Address. Let me tell you guys a little bit about him. Chair Rickman was selected to represent San Joaquin County's 5th District as a member of the Board of Supervisors in 2020 and was sworn into office in January 2021. He is a former City Council member and mayor of the City of Tracy, 3rd-generation Tracyite. Robert graduated from Tracy High School. I had to mention that or else we would hear it. He attended San Joaquin Delta College and Sacramento State University, where he obtained his Bachelor's of Science degree. He graduated from Humphreys School of Law in 2008 with a Juris Doctor degree for police officer and sergeant, and currently works in the Tracy area serving our community and keeping the people of our region safe. He was elected by his colleagues to serve as the board chair in 2023. He is married to his beautiful wife, Karen, and 2 lovely daughters. But before he comes out, we have a special treat for all of you. So now, we would like to play a video that we have prepared for you guys.
Carlos, Ron, Edith. What's up, brother?
What are you doing?
Good.
All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Ron, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it. You want to go inside?
Sounds great.
All right.
recognize a couple of superstars in that video. Just don't quit your day job yet. And now, for the moment you all have been waiting for, help me bring to the stage Chairman Robert Rickman.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? How do you guys like the video? First of all, I want to say thank you to Maria for the warm introduction. It was a pleasure working with her. And I would personally like to thank you and the Tracy Chamber of Commerce for your help in arranging the State of the County address and for the Chamber's support for the business community. And in fact, for all the chambers here in San Joaquin County, thank you. Further, would like to say thank you to the Sheriff's Honor Guard, Hillary Crowley, Nicole Lee, and her beautiful voice, Deacon Riza, President Callahan, Carissa Lucas from the City of Tracy, my Chief of Staff, Scott Tyrell, Town and Country Cafe for their great food this morning, San Joaquin County ISD, our staff at the county, our AV folks, our sponsors, and everyone who made this day possible. You know, it's always a humbling experience to be on this stage. I've been on the stage 4 times delivering the State of the City address here when I was mayor, and now I have the honor to deliver my first State of the County address here on this beautiful stage at the Grand Theater. Now, the Grand Theater is the crown jewel of Tracy, and we are celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hear about our county's accomplishments, our vision for the future, and our broad economic outlook from our guest speaker, UOP President Christopher Callahan. UOP is a great school, and we are lucky to have it here in San Joaquin County. You know, as chairman, this year I brought the State of the County to Tracy District 5. As we say in the county, you know, 5th district, best district, right? This is the first year that it has been outside of the Board of Supervisors chambers. Now, the 5th district incorporates Mountain House, Tracy, Escalon, Ripon, and unincorporated San Joaquin County. Tracy is my hometown, the place where I was born and raised. The love I have for my hometown, the pride of being a resident here, we learned it from our family, our neighborhood, our communities, and in our schools. This town is something special, as all our hometowns are. But I think we can all agree also that the 5th district has the best high school sports teams. Am I correct? Here in San Joaquin County, we are special in the way we come together in time of crisis. We are special in the way we come together in a time to celebrate, and the way we come together to get things done. And now, to the main event. Members of the board, staff, residents, and friends of San Joaquin County, welcome to the 2023 State of the County. I am honored to be with you here today as chair of the board and the supervisor for District 5, and grateful for the opportunity to serve you as a steward of what I believe is amongst the most beautiful, innovative, productive, and welcoming counties here in California. San Joaquin County is truly a place to thrive and where greatness grows. Now, as the chairman, I'm only one person on a team of 5. So please hold your applause as I formally introduce my colleagues. Miguel Villapudua from District 1. Supervisor Villapudua is on his honeymoon in Mexico right now. So he is probably by the pool having a frosty beverage. So, however, he is well represented by his Chief of Staff, Chris Rapay, who is here. Paul Canepa. Paul, you can stand up, don't be shy, dude. District 2. Tom Patty from District 3. And Stephen Ding from District 4. Thank you guys for being here. Now, together, we are working for you, the county at large. And I believe we are an aggressive and forward-thinking board that is highly invested in making San Joaquin County the most prosperous community it can be. I would also like to recognize our county administrator, Jay Wilberding, for his steadfast dedication to fiscal solvency in partnership with our board. And there he is. You stand up and let everybody see it. I would also like to recognize the dignitaries that are here with us today. And if you could please hold your applause. I know we have quite a few of them. We have Ron Freitas from our district attorney's office, or the district attorney. Patrick Withrow, our sheriff. Troy Brown, our superintendent of San Joaquin County. Fonse Keekum, our CPA treasurer tax collector. Jeff Wohlkamp, our county auditor. We have our clerk of the board, Rachel DeBoard, or Rochelle, excuse me, Rochelle. I have to give her a bad time. We have our assembly member, Carlos Villapudua. Colonel Kevin Chun from the DLA distribution. We have representative from Congressman Harder's office, Fatima Urino. And Gavin Klein from Congressman Duarte's office. Also, we have a county supervisor for Stanislaus, Manny Graywall. So thank you, Manny, for coming out all the way out here. So for City of Tracy, we have Alicia Davis. And you guys can just please stand up. Matea Badola, Dan Evans, Dan Ariola, Nancy Young, and Ray McCrae, our treasurer. For our City of Ripon, our mayor, Mike Restucia, and Gary Barton, our council member from Ripon. From City of Escalon, we have our mayor, Dave Ballinger. And from Mountain House, we have Harry Dillon as our director. And we have president of the board, Bernice King Tingle, and director, Manuel Moreno. From our City of Lathrop, Mayor Sunny Dollywall. Our Vice Mayor, Paul Kinjo, and Council Member, Minnie Diallo. The City of Manteca, we have our Mayor, Gary Singh, and our Council Member, Charlie Halford. We also have the former Mayor, Steve DeBrum, here in the audience today. From City of Lodi, we have Cameron Bridgen from the council member from Lodi. And from the City of Stockton, Mayor Lincoln, who needs no introduction, I could say, by the way. Councilmember Dan Wright, and Councilmember Michael Blauer. So I'm sorry if we missed any names. Who did we miss? Oh, Dougie Fresh, Doug Keene, former mayor of Lodi, and a representative for Heath Flora. So thank you, Doug. I would also like to recognize our county leaders in attendance. These leaders implement the policy and vision of the board and work very hard to ensure our county operates efficiently. So if our county department director, can you all just please stand up and let everybody get a view of you? Don't be shy. Come on. There you go. Thank you all very much. And I would also like to thank my wife, Karen, who's sitting right here in the front row. I know how you got put right next to Supervisor Patty. We'll have to talk about that. Thank you for making me, a better father and husband. And if you look at her and she still looks the same, and then you look at me, you're like, God, what happened? All right? But thank you, I love you. And I would also like to recognize my mom and dad are here today, Leroy and Belmita. And thank you for all that you do, raising us 3 boys, right? And my in-laws, George and Gloria Murphy. Now, I cannot begin this annual address without reflecting on the challenges we as a county, state, and nation have faced in recent years. While thankfully, we emerged from the crisis of a global pandemic, the experience we endured collectively has impacted each one of us. From loved ones lost, to local businesses forced to close, to an epidemic of isolation and mental health impacts, to education and social setbacks, we naturally want to put that chapter behind us. But let's not forget that these times of adversity can make us stronger, more connected, and determined. Now, the board adopted a new set of strategic priorities through 2025. As an elected governing body, these priorities guide our financial investments, initiatives, and the provisions of our services. These priorities are fiscal optimization, organizational capacity, technology utilization, homelessness, public safety, criminal justice, quality of life, economic development, and water management. Governing and managing a county the size of San Joaquin, with its approximately 790,000 residents, over 1,426 square miles, with 7 cities, Escalon, Lathrop, Lodi, Manteca, Ripon, Stockton, and Tracy, and including 35 miles of ecologically and economically critical waterways, requires the work of nearly 8,000 employees throughout 26 departments and agencies. On a side note, just recently on September 14th, LAFCO unanimously approved Mountain House's application for incorporation. So, yes, yeah, of course. Congratulations. So on March 5th, 2024, the residents of Mountain House will vote to decide if Mountain House becomes the newest city in California and the 8th city here in San Joaquin County. We are the 14th largest county in California and the heartland of our great state. Our employees, departments, agencies, and elected officials focuses on delivering the highest quality, most responsive governance and services possible by focusing our efforts on clear, strategic priorities. I want to share some of the shining examples of how we had to put these priorities into concrete action, gathering some great results, because each deserves to be highlighted and celebrated. Among our most important priorities is delivering a structurally balanced budget. Each department in the county is responsible for producing a sound and responsible budget that also seeks to lever resources to ensure accountability to taxpayers, grantors, and investors. In fact, Standard & Poor's recently upgraded the county's credit from A+ to AA-, demonstrating our county's commitment to fiscal responsibility. And those of you that are wondering, AA- is better than an A+ in this stance, all right? I'm pleased to report that the fiscal state of our county is strong as ever. This past June, yes, thank you. This past June, the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved a $2.59 billion structurally balanced budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. The budget reflects an increase of $370.8 million when compared to last year's budget. So on behalf of the board, we extend our sincere gratitude to our dedicated employees and executives in developing this spending plan. Now, here are some actions taken by our departments to identify funding sources to help pay for critical services and programs. We reached agreement on 13 contracts with 7 employee organizations, resulting in 100% of the county's represented employees remaining on a contract. We entered into a tax sharing agreement with the cities of Lathrop and Lodi for a more equitable distribution of tax dollars. You're welcome, Dougie Fresh. Our auditor controller identified $1.8 million in assessments paid in excess of cost for the East Stockton Sewer District project and is working to return those funds. Our treasurer tax collector generated over $133 million of interest income, and property owners provided over $1.3 billion in property taxes to fund essential services here in San Joaquin County. This was an increase from $1.2 billion from the previous year. The Department of Public Works had a windfall in grant funding this year. They invested $17.2 million in grants to expand and enhance water-related services, including $6.5 million in grants for major water projects, as well as $3.3 million in state funding. They received $70,000 in grants to purchase hybrid electric vehicles, to reduce vehicle procurement and fuel costs while improving our air quality here in the valley. They also secured $4.7 million in grants to create a master plan for pedestrian improvements on over 300 miles of roads and new transportation infrastructure near Harrison Elementary School. Our departments are constantly searching for funding opportunities to enhance services for you, our county residents. Now, turning to organizational capacity technology utilization. When the board enacted this strategic priority, we did so with the intention of improving recruitment and retention rates, formalizing succession planning, demonstrating leadership development, and augmenting digitization and automation. Here's a few examples. We transitioned to 100% electronic plan review for all building permits, resulting in more streamlined, transparent, and flexible processing of building and solar permits to make our permit process less complicated and more efficient. So in short, it's about getting back to basic customer service. We implemented a new security information and event management system to protect your data and our county systems. We approved a new hard-to-recruit incentive program offering eligible new hires the opportunity to receive stay bonuses up to $6,000 and other incentives. And I want to take this opportunity to say to all of you that San Joaquin County is hiring among all departments and all levels. So check out our newly updated website, and we'd love to have you here on our team. So to Carissa Lucas and Vanessa Carrera, see me after the show. I'll get you an application. Now, turning to our outstanding quality of life here in San Joaquin County. Every decision we make is intended to increase the quality of life for our residents through accountability, transparency, responsiveness, equity, and effectiveness. It's what makes us a place to thrive. While that means different things to different people, as a community and society, there are certain support systems, services, and comforts that the county provides that residents rely on to make day-to-day life better. A few of these examples include establish an election advisory committee of local residents to incorporate voter input into how the register of voters can best serve their community. I want to give a shout out to Supervisor Ding. Right when he came first year on the board, first month on the board, he tackled this. So thank you, Supervisor Ding. Begin construction upgrades to the former in-shape building for law and justice offices. Open the Jack Williams MD Public Health Building. This Phase 1 project provides a new administrative building and lab facilities. Commenced a master service agreement with Dignity Health that is resulting in clinical, operational, and fiscal best practices at San Joaquin County General Hospital. Allocated $74 million for housing, veterans, behavioral health, and illegal dumping prevention. Invested $6.4 million in facility repairs and upgrades at the 8 community centers located throughout San Joaquin County, including the one here off of Larch Road. Allocated $5.2 million to strengthen the mental health workforce by offering paid opportunities and student loan forgiveness in exchange for service commitments within the county. Through SJ Health, primary care efforts, and street medicine outreach, hundreds of mobile health services are now offered in neighborhoods and to the unhoused. allocated more than $2.5 million to pay for facility repairs, upgrades, and equipment purchases at 6 local veterans service organizations. We allocated $2 million to UOP for capital renovations, the Manor Hall for military and student veteran services, as well as $1 million in total matching funds for the Delta College Student Career Internship Program. As you can see from these examples, we put a premium on our students and educations, and we take care of our veterans. Thank you. We also launched the See It, Report It, Stop It public outreach campaign to reduce illegal dumping here in San Joaquin County. Yes. Now, I'd like to turn our focus on an issue that is currently the most pressing in our county and the state: homelessness. Now, this is a humanitarian emergency for California, and a cost of living, mental health, public health and safety, of substance abuse crisis. I am confident that working together and working locally, we can make significant progress, look at its root and broad causes, and decrease the homeless crisis here in the long term. Now, let me be blunt here for a second. The Housing First model has not worked. The state has spent billions of dollars on this model, and the problem has only gotten worse. Therefore, we cannot view the issue just as one of housing. That's only one component of the overall issue. People are experiencing homelessness for a variety of reasons, including substance abuse, serious mental illness, a lack of available resources, and personal accountability. As a law enforcement officer for close to 28 years, I have seen these issues firsthand. Now, we have to look at this crisis holistically and regionally. As a result, the board has invested in diverse solutions to address the crisis of thousands of unhoused residents. In the past 2 years alone, San Joaquin County invested nearly $200 million for countywide projects ranging from permanent supportive housing, emergency shelters, responding to calls for services, hospital treatment, and enhanced care management. These investments will result in the addition of over 700 new units of permanent supportive housing and increased shelter capacity countywide by 166%. Here are a few examples of what we have accomplished. And when I was going through the state of the county, we've done so much in this one area, and I wish I could sit here and tell you all about it, but in interest of time, we had to dwindle it down. So the development of the conceptual plan for the SJB Well campus. The board approved $53 million over the next 18 years from the National Opioid Settlement. This will be a one-stop shop with campus of facilities proposed in 2 phases on 23 acres owned by the county in French Camp. Phase 1 will include dual diagnosis point of entry, a sobering center, medical detox, a psychiatric health facility, and a crisis stabilization unit with a completion date of approximately fiscal year 2025-2026. The second phase includes transitional residential cottages, expanded perinatal programming, a youth substance use disorder residential treatment facility, and youth aftercare outpatient programs. We adopted an ordinance strengthening San Joaquin County's ability to protect critical water infrastructures, including our waterways and our levees. Just last month, we partnered with the City of Stockton to expand the Pathways Project, which is a low-barrier emergency shelter. We supported the development of a low-barrier emergency shelter in the city of Manteca. We allocated $20 million from the county's second allotment of ARPA funds, which so far has provided roughly $832,000 for facility improvements and expansion of transitional housing for clients of Lodi House, a shelter for women and children. $2 million for shared supportive housing developed through a partnership with St. Mary's Dining Room and Stand affordable housing. $5.3 million to the city of Lodi to complete construction and financing on phases 2, 3, 4 of the Lodi Access Center emergency shelter. And just recently, the board allocated more than $7.1 million for the completion of emergency shelter in the city of Tracy. This funding this funding follows the board's July 2021 allocation of $3.6 million to support initial construction of that shelter. I want to say thank you to our Vice Mayor Alicia Davis and Councilmember Mateo Bedolla, and we had quite a few meetings, and thank you for working with the county and let's get this done and so we can help each other. We broke ground on the Sonora Square, a permanent supportive housing project for homeless behavioral health clients in partnership with the Housing Authority of San Joaquin. We opened Victoria Gardens, a permanent supporting housing project for homeless veterans in partnership with the Housing Authority of San Joaquin. And we also celebrated the remodel of the Women's Recuperative Care Center through our Housing Authority, along with Gospel Center Rescue Mission. And now moving on to a subject that is personal and close to my heart, public safety. The first priority of government is to keep our citizens safe. For close to 28 years, I worked as a sergeant for the CHP, and I've worked in every city here in San Joaquin County. I have devoted my life to public safety. I'm hoping that once I retire, my hair, I think, might grow back. But now, with that being said, I want to say thank you to those in law enforcement and fire that are here with us today. Yes, please. Absolutely. Our police, sheriffs, fire personnel, our DA staff, and the probation department, thank you for all that you do and the sacrifices you make each day, and your family, those sacrifices that your families make to keep the public and our community safe. We owe you a debt of gratitude. And I can speak on behalf of the board when I say that we support you all and the great job that you do. Keep up the great work. A few highlights to report from our departments that oversee public safety. The DA's office has made great progress to eliminate a backlog of crime report referrals. They hired 20 new staff, 7 of whom are deputy DAs, and renewed efforts to prosecute quality of life crimes. Now look at this, increasing the charging rate from 53% in 2022 to 72% in 2023. Awesome job, DA Freitas. Excellent job, thank you. Recently, the Board of Supervisors approved a $2.2 million appropriation to establish the San Joaquin County DA Fentanyl Intervention and Response Safety Team, or FIRST, adding 11 dedicated staff positions to the department. Thank you once again, DA Freitas, for your leadership. Know this, if you are going to deal in this poison that are killing our kids, we are going to use every available resource that we have to prosecute you and throw you in prison. The probation department has bolstered career and technical education and vocational programs for juvenile offenders to help put them on the path to a productive and hopeful future. Now, a sensitive subject, but it's of utmost priority, is school and safety in public settings. The Sheriff's Department hosted an intense training to prepare for active threats and rescue and reunification in a shooting scenario. While we never want to use those skills, if a real life situation were to occur, we must be prepared, and we are prepared. Thank you, Sheriff Withrow. We broke ground on the San Joaquin Detention and Program Facility at the Sheriff's Office just recently, and the county committed more than $12 million in funding to 16 fire stations for everything from staffing ambulance dispatch centers, ambulances and other vehicles, to watercraft and boats, training centers, and radios. Now, moving on to economic development. A vital economy keeps our county moving forward, growing, and innovating. Significant business incentives and economic development opportunities allow the county to continue its smart growth and further position itself as a highly attractive location for our employers to expand and invest. Employment growth has been dominated by an expansion in the transportation and warehouse sector. The San Joaquin County industrial real estate market is one of the region's key economic assets, based on its strategic location and numerous transportation networks. Approximately 32.4 million square feet of new industrial space was constructed between 2018 and June of 2023, with about 10 million square feet of additional space currently under construction throughout San Joaquin County. We pride ourselves on attracting major employers and top taxpayers, like Amazon. They recently opened a new 3.5 million square foot facility in Tracy, increasing Amazon's total combined footprint in Manteca, Stockton, and Tracy to more than 8 million square feet. Tesla opened its mega factory in Lathrop last year, the company's fifth facility in San Joaquin County, with 650 employees in that facility alone. And despite the rising interest rates, the housing market in San Joaquin County continues to grow with an average home value of over $530,000. San Joaquin County's gross value of agriculture production increased by 5.34% to $3.2 billion in 2021, with agricultural commodities exported to 94 countries. So it is true, San Joaquin County, we feed the world. The Stockton Port is also having a record success with their second busiest year ever, including 278 vessel calls, transporting nearly 4.5 million tons of cargo to and from locations all around the world. The port provides over 10,000 jobs, generates $1.6 billion in economic activity, and nearly $78 million in state local taxes annually. And big plans are underway to improve the Stockton Airport. Our airport is currently expanding the cargo ramp space and conducting pavement rehab of their taxi lanes to attract prospective cargo operators, increase flight services, and contribute to the region's economic development. Now, just a quick update on Airpark 599, a master plan logistic park on 275 acres of county-owned land in Stockton. As a hub for all major markets in Northern California, Airpark 599 will add 3.47 million square feet of Class A space suitable for e-commerce, distributions, advanced manufacturing, while improving area infrastructure and bringing new jobs to a large skilled workforce. In fact, Target Corporation has entered into a lease of 1.4 million square feet, or 1.4 million square foot logistic facility under construction on about 12 acres. Planned occupancy is in the third quarter of 2023-2024, and Target will hire approximately 2,500 employees, some of those being seasonal. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge our Employment and Economic Development Department, or E2D2, as well as our Economic Development Association for their efforts to provide jobs, workforce training, and funding to local businesses. They assisted 2,690 participants with job search services and provided nearly $4 million in grants and loans to small businesses throughout the county. To date, they have administered over $8 million through the Relief Across Downtown program, the RAD card, right, to help businesses impacted by the pandemic. Now, we're finally going to turn to water. San Joaquin County's defining waterways, comprising the San Joaquin Delta, which is the hub of California's water supply, rivers, and estuaries, and our most valuable natural resource. Protecting and managing this resource is critical. This past year showed us that nature remains unpredictable and powerful. After a decade of severe drought, the winter storms of late 2022 through spring of 2023 brought a torrent of water that threatened and in many cases destroyed or damaged property. However, our county's emergency response was swift and prepared, mitigating impacts significantly and kept residents informed of changing conditions, evacuation plans when necessary. The Office of Emergency Services activated the Emergency Operations Center on New Year's Day, operating 24/7, and the Board of Supervisors ratified a proclamation that declared a local state of emergency during a special session on January 4th. The county immediately began to collect documentation to support federal assistance. On January 18th, San Joaquin County was added to the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA's major disaster declaration for the state of California. January 28th, the county opened a disaster recovery center at the Ag Center. Multiple local, state, and federal agencies were available to assist our county residents who were impacted by the floods. The Sheriff's Office spent over 2,100 hours between January and April conducting evacuations of 5 separate locations and providing 24-hour-a-day security for each location to protect the homes and possessions of the residents. Public Works oversaw repairs totaling $1.2 million on critical transportation infrastructure and $1.1 million in repairs when the MacArthur Road Bridge and Catherine Road washed out. It took Public Works less than 1 month to get those roads back open, so great job, Public Works. And throughout the storm, the potential future snow melts. We worked with our federal and state delegates and agencies, received approvals, and conducted emergency levee maintenance. And on March 28th, the board directed staff to facilitate the transition of OES back to a standalone department, reporting directly to the board instead of general services. The chair of the board will serve as the director of emergency services, and the new Office of Emergency Services department head will be reclassified as the director of emergency operations. We are actively preparing for the next flood event. In fact, we purchased 3 new drones to assist engineers in spotting potential levee vulnerabilities using thermal imaging to identify seepage and boils. And I just want to say, in my district, District 5 and District 4 probably hit the hardest, and I know Supervisor Ding and myself and OES were on the phone constantly. And I want to say, thank you to Chief Bradley. I was with him a lot here in South County going through, the different flood areas. And one funny note, he was driving, I'm passenger, they say, you don't go through standing water or rushing water on the roadway. But sometimes emergencies, as public safety, you have to. And we're looking at each other, and he said, should I go? I don't think we can make it, man. He goes, I think we can do it. I said, I don't think we can. And he started moving forward, so I took my seatbelt off, and I put my seatbelt and rolled down my window, just in case I was just going to take, foot bail right out that window. And I think Glenn Moore from the Tracy Press was out there taking pictures. She was, oh my God, this isn't going to be good at all. But we made it, so it was fun. So thank you, Chief Bradley. Now, talking about the Delta, I would be remiss if I didn't highlight the county's effort to defeat the Delta Tunnel Conveyance Project. I should say the ridiculous Delta Tunnel Conveyance Project. The county has been fighting various forms of the tunnel battle that would ship the Delta's water south for nearly 15 years, and we aren't going to stop until the proposed project is dead in the water. Absolutely, it's ridiculous. This summer, the county, in partnership with the Delta Counties Coalition and our state and federal legislative delegation, defeated the governor's sneaky, and it's exactly what it was, sneaky proposal to ease environmental rules and expedite the highly controversial and outrageously expensive conveyance project. I want to say, thank you to Supervisor Patty and Supervisor Ding, who sit on that Delta Counties Coalition, for your leadership in putting it into this disastrous project that would devastate the Delta environment and its 4 million residents. So thank you. In conclusion, I hope that I've been able to remind you of the reason we enjoy such a wonderful quality of life here in San Joaquin County. There are thousands of people who play a large part in why we are successful and why we live in such a unique and special part of the world. All of you sitting in this fabulous grand theater have contributed to that success. This board has covered a long distance in the last year, even the last few months. I want to thank my colleagues and our staff for your dedication and your leadership. I want to thank everyone here today and the residents of San Joaquin County for your trust and your confidence. San Joaquin County has a bright future ahead. We will continue to foster a county government that is more accountable, inclusive, and accessible, as well as more efficient, effective, and transparent. We will continue to break through ceilings and go farther than we have ever been before. So in the weeks, months, and years to come, I look forward to working together with all our board members, our staff, and most importantly, you, the residents and business owners, to create a great future for all San Joaquin County residents. We will continue to deliver essential services and programs to make San Joaquin County a great place to live, work, and play. And I just want to leave on a quote that I love by Carl Sandburg, who said, "All we need to begin with is a dream that we can do better than before. All we need to have is faith, and that dream will come true. And all we need to do is act, and the time for action is now." So thank you, everyone, for being here. God bless each and every one of you. God bless San Joaquin County, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Appreciate it.